What's going on, everybody? It is I, the Loaf King. Welcome back to the Lunchbox, and today we are about to check out the PlayStation 5 Pro's reveal. So, I've it's been a while since I've done anything like this. Last thing I did something similar like this was with the Nintendo Switch OLED, and honestly, it was a bit of a disappointment. Um, I don't think I even reacted to the PlayStation 4 when it got its Pro version. To be for real, but I don't know. Let's see what the PS5 Pro has to show, and then we'll do like some comparisons to the original and whatever the price is. I think the price I think already got leaked to me, so I'm just pretty much here trying to see what else this has to offer. Okay. Enhanced with spectral super resolution. Okay. High frame rates, 60 to 120 frames. Okay. Could do 120 frames. That's nice. Advanced ray tracing. Advanced ray tracing.
PlayStation.
That was it. Really? Previous for a technical presentation hosted by Mark Henry. Hold on, y'all. We're not done yet.
Hi, I'm Mark Cerny. I'm excited to be here to talk about the newest addition to our console lineup, PlayStation 5 Pro, and how it advances gaming technology. But first, I want to take just a minute to look at what we put in the original PlayStation 5 and how it delivers an exceptional gaming experience. When PS5 debuted in 2020,
okay. Just had to double
it brought
check.
a lot to the table. 8 Zen 2 CPU cores form the brains of PlayStation 5 and enable high-speed, complex gameplay, with character counts reaching into the hundreds and frame rates that can be as high as 120 frames a second. PS5 has a powerful RDNA 2 GPU, which can render anything from intricate details to fantastic worlds with vast panoramas to explore. Ray tracing allows for dramatic visual improvements, including reflections off of water or glass, and the realism that comes from real-time global illumination. A custom SSD can load data at breathtaking speed, resulting in ultra-fast transitions between game worlds.
Yeah, it was already able to do that with the 5 though.
So high that traversal speeds are essentially unlimited.
You okay? I'm working on it.
Tempest 3D audio tech brings an unparalleled sense of immersion to the sound of the games. With audio so real, you may not even need to see the enemies to know exactly where they are. Finally, the DualSense controller has haptics that let you feel through your hands what your character is experiencing inside of the game. It's wonderful to see such variety and richness of game experiences. Creators have made amazing use of the hardware capabilities, but when I talk to them, I do hear about their desire for more graphics performance.
Okay, so this really was just about the PS5.
Supported at 60 frames per second, and that leads to an aspect of modern gaming that we're all familiar with: graphics modes. It can be a difficult choice for players. Fidelity modes emphasize the visuals, typically through higher resolution rendering. These modes might also have enhanced detail or use more ray tracing. But the games only run at 30 frames per second. The visuals can be choppier, and the controls less responsive. Performance modes emphasize frame rate and interactivity, typically choosing to run at 60 frames per second, mainly by reducing the graphical detail until those frame rates can be achieved. When asked to decide on a mode, players are choosing performance about 3/4 of the time. Removing that decision,
performance is
narrowing
best.
that divide is one of the key targets for PlayStation 5 Pro. We want to give players the graphics that the game creators aspire to, at the high frame rates that players typically prefer. To do that, PS5 Pro substantially improves over PlayStation 5 in 3 ways. Here's what we call the Big 3. First, we made the GPU much larger and increased the speed of the memory it uses. The result is rendering that's up to 45% faster.
Okay.
Second, we made major upgrades to the ray tracing, taking a streamlined and accelerated approach that allows calculation of the rays at double or even triple the speeds of PlayStation 5. And finally, we added custom hardware for machine learning and an AI library called PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution, or PSSR for short. PSSR analyzes the game images pixel by pixel and can add an extraordinary amount of detail, which boosts the effective resolution of the games. Game creators are adding PS5 Pro support to new and existing titles, and with the Big 3 involved, the results can be pretty amazing, with graphics showing something like fidelity levels of detail, but at double the frame rate. Here's The Last of Us Part 2 running on PS5 Pro. It has huge amounts of detail and targets a super smooth 60 frames per second. Let's compare this to the fidelity mode on PS5, which is only running at 30 frames per second and is therefore much choppier. This goal of delivering almost fidelity-like graphics and performance frames has been achieved for a broad set of titles, including Marvel's Spider-Man 2 and Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart.
It definitely runs smoother.
PS5 Pro is close to
No denying that.
of PlayStation 5.
I mean, it'd be a problem if it wasn't, right?
Is to look at PS5 Pro versus performance mode on PS5, both of which target 60 frames per second. What we see here is a difference in detail. PS5 Pro is much sharper and crisper than PS5. For this, my favorite is the parade scene from Ratchet & Clank. Distant details are much clearer. And here we can see Marvel's Spider-Man 2 is noticeably higher resolution throughout the scene, including the trees and procedural cars.
It's kind of
overall some remarkable
noticeable
improvements to the games. On PS5 Pro, we can see increased sharpness to the graphics or smoother and more responsive gameplay. This is the Big 3 showing their value. As you've been seeing, machine learning via the PSSR library is being used quite broadly to add pixel detail and boost frame rate. But there are as many approaches as there are game engines. The increase in raw GPU power is being especially effective for Horizon Forbidden West. Apart from the detail boost, that extra graphics power is allowing for improvements.
I'm gonna let this run
effects,
before I really start saying a couple of things.
As well as to the hair and the skin in cinematics.
Because
open up, guys.
There might be something that I could be I could miss. So, you know.
Ray tracing is finding broad usage as well, particularly when the games are focused on higher frame rates. The faster hardware in PS5 Pro can make a real difference. Allowing Gran Turismo 7 to add ray-traced reflections between the cars in gameplay, while continuing to support their targeted 60 frames per second. That boost in ray tracing is also delivering big wins for Hogwarts Legacy, allowing not only for better reflections and a greater variety of reflective surfaces, but also for further realism in the casting of shadows. I hope you've enjoyed this run-through of the technology behind PlayStation 5 Pro. Simply put, it's the most powerful console we've ever built, and a worthy addition to the PS5 family. Let me wrap this up by giving you a quick look at a number of games running on the new console.
Okay. Here we go. This is why this is a recording, because I'm most likely going to just take this music out. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Horizon. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. This does look nice, but oh Lord, there it is, 700. You had to figure that it was gonna be like $100 more. That was it, right? Yeah, looks like it. Okay, so man, look. $700 to pay another $700 for this, unless you can trade in your PlayStation 5 to take some of the price down, like a decent amount and stuff. I don't feel like it's necessarily worth it. I really don't. I already know how some people are gonna be like, oh, what's not worth it and stuff. Like, man, it's tough to really explain. But maybe some people will understand where I'm coming from. Like, I wouldn't mind upgrading to a Pro, right? But for what I'm paying, I don't feel like I'm getting that much more, you know? Like, it has more of a focus on 120 frames. Yes. No, that it has that going for it. Can't deny that. But and apparently they're going to be focusing on a lot more games in the future to take advantage of these new features for the PS5 Pro. But yeah, man, I don't know. The games already look good as is for me, right? Like, I personally believe that PS5. I personally believe that the graphics can only go so far. Like, there's a limitation towards how much it can actually like wow me, to the point where I'm just like, oh yeah, I definitely need to get this, you know? Like, it's cool. Ooh, I'm trying to like actually look at it. I don't think they even have it on the website yet. It's just a PS5. What's this? This just gives me. Is it a slim model? Huh. I didn't even realize. But yeah, man, that's literally $200 more than you're paying for the PlayStation 5 Pro. That's pretty wild. It honestly kind of is. You know what would have been probably a even bigger selling point, especially with what PlayStation is like trying to do, has been trying to do. If they would have sold the PS5 Pro, and I know this would come at a bit at a loss, but I feel in the long run they probably would have benefited from it. They sell the PlayStation 5 Pro with the freaking with the VR, with the PS2 VR, because the PS2 VR has been doing terrible in terms of sales. People are not buying that shit. They really aren't. And the ones that are, they're not really getting much use out of it. So yeah, man, it's really tough to give me more of a reason to jump to a PS5 Pro. Now, obviously, if my PS5 was to ever break down or anything, I would definitely just go ahead and be like, all right, well, I might as well just upgrade to the PS5 Pro at that point. But right now, as it stands, I kind of just feel like I'd rather invest into. I should actually I'm looking at earbuds over the actual PS5 Pro. I think I would rather invest into getting an actual new console in this case than getting the Pro at the moment. At least until like a price drop happens, or like I get in a moment where I can like invest. It was already a lot for me to get a PS5 originally. I kind of just like took a shot in the dark and was like, all right, I'm gonna just have to wing it for a couple of weeks and buy this now, because I had an opportunity to get a PS5 Pro early at launch. And can I say that I got a lot of games to play out of it that were actually exclusive? Yes and no. Like there are games out there for everybody, and I understand that there's like a medium where people feel like PlayStation does not have a lot of games. Astrobot might be the most fun I've had, honestly, with my PS5, next to Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, which is a crazy comment to make, I know, but like I like really enjoyed those games, and that's not to say I haven't enjoyed the other games either, though, like Resident Evil 4 Remake, Tekken 8, Black Myth Wukong, Prince of Persia. But some of these games aren't even necessarily exclusives. I didn't even finish Alan Wake 2 yet. Like I've been playing it, but I haven't gone back to it in a bit. Armored Core, but again, some of these games aren't even like exclusives. So it's kind of like, what is there that I'm like necessarily looking for, you know? A lot of these games are available to play on console too. I mean, on PC, so you're not really too what's the word I'm looking for? You're not really too invested into having to play it on your PlayStation 5 unless you don't have a strong PC, you know, whatever. But you know, people can also play their games on Xbox, even though Xbox has been slacking it as well when it comes to games. Even though the reveals that they did recently during the Xbox Summer Game Fest, that actually showed like some promising new games in the future. But Man, I don't know, man. It's really tough for me to say. It really is. I guess at the end of the day, if you really want to have like the highest spec of your console, then yeah, I guess it's kind of worth it for most. But $600, man. They made Concord too. Look at the freaking shorts of people making fun of them. It's coming out November 7th. Yeah. I don't know, y'all. It's up to you at the end of the day. But I can't really say that this is something that I necessarily would want to have. But let me know what y'all think in the comments below. Are you gonna get it at launch? Do you feel like it's worth getting at the moment? Is the price too much? Do you feel the specs are paying off what you would invest for said console? Because as it stands right now for me, I'd say that it's not bad, but it's not priced at a range that makes me feel like I need it. And maybe the games that they come out with to take advantage of the what's it called? Spectral super ray tracing? The technical term. Advanced ray tracing. They said spectral something though earlier. Just a computer, you know, the higher GPU and stuff. All right, I'm dragging this out. All right. If you enjoyed this, be sure to hit the like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell for more notifications. Consider checking out our podcast on the lunch table. It's on Spotify, and we'll have a video. We have video versions on YouTube as well. And last but not least, if you want to join the community, feel free to click the description below to get to our Discord link. It's free to join. The community is pretty cool. And yeah, that's going to be about it. And don't forget, PS5 is $500, the original. So you'll be paying another $200 to get a pro version. That's essentially got more frames and looks slightly better. That's how I personally feel. But I'm not the Sony fan. I'm not the Sony rep here. That's Magic Lunchbox, which maybe I should have had on here as well to give his opinion. But you know, coming from, I guess I'm the Nintendo rep to some extent, but coming from somebody who's just wants like some nice looking games, some fun games to play that run at decent frame rates, I'm not in a rush. All right, peace, y'all.